It is another edition of Melzak Monday as we are joined in studio by the voice of the Toledo Walleye, Matt Melzak. Matt, always good to have you with us. And I know the question on everyone's mind is, have things calmed down from last night in that crazy third period that we saw?
I don't know. The whole world must have been on a weird axis yesterday with the way everything just kind of fell apart in certain games and the NFL games all ending in the last play, weird things happening in 13 seconds, the Walleyes scoring with 0.6 seconds left to go to win a game in regulation time. You just don't seem to see a lot of that stuff anymore. But what a wild third period. A game that looked like it was just going to be, hey, this is Toledo, it's Fort Wayne, going to go down to the wire anyway. And it's a 2-1 game after 2 periods of play. And then all of a sudden, Fort Wayne comes out and scores 2 shots into the third period, and they have the lead. All of a sudden, 3-2. We're 45 seconds in, and we're thinking, I'm looking at Kyle Bonus. I'm like, what is going on here? It was just a wild start to the period. And then Toledo comes back with 2 goals, regains the lead. Fort Wayne back with 2 goals again to take the lead. And then TJ Hensick, we forgot about that. We're all on that Cole Frazier scoring with 0.6 seconds left to win a game. But with only 24 seconds left to go, TJ Hensick from almost at the goal line puts a perfect shot into the top corner of the net. I mean, he had probably 6 inches to get a 4-inch puck through there, and he did for an unbelievable shot to tie the game. And then obviously you win it there late. It just a whirlwind that, a game that you might see once every 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and we happen to see it on Sunday. It was awesome.
Well, there is that old adage, it's better to be lucky than to be good. But let's be honest about this. The Walleye have been very good. They are 12 straight unbeaten in regulation at home. They are playing some fantastic hockey right now.
Right. Now, they may have been a little bit lucky. I mean, you could say what you want. I mean, how many times you're going to score 2 goals in the last 24 seconds of a game to win it? It's not going to happen very often. You have to have a little bit of luck in there, and certainly in Cole Frazier's goal, there was some luck mixed in there as well. But the fact that this is a team that has not lost in regulation on home ice since November 12th, Dorian, November 12th was the last time they lost on home ice, and that was a 3-2 game to the Wheeling Nailers, who, by the way, they end up playing at home this Saturday. But that was the last time they lost in regulation. The only other time that they dropped a game on home ice was the first game at Winterfest on December 26th against the Kalamazoo Wings in a 3-2 shootout loss. So this is a team that has taken advantage of the home ice. When they lost that game to Wheeling back in early November, they were 1-2 at home. We were starting to think, oh, this isn't a great start. Now you look at their record and you know what? They're really good at home. How about that? They're dominating, a great home percentage, best in the ECHL. It's amazing what they're able to do on home ice. Sunday's game is a great example of it. Because of the fact they're at home, there's no slowdown with this team at all on home ice. They really dominated Iowa on Friday, too. We forgot all about that. It ended up being a closer game because Iowa scored twice on the power play. Otherwise, that's probably a 4-5, 6-1 game. It just didn't turn out that way. But Toledo still got the win anyhow. But this is a team that knows how to win on home ice. That's important when you get, obviously, to the next season, so to speak, when we're talking playoffs in a couple of months. You've got to be able to win your games at home, and Toledo has done that to perfection this year.
Well, playoffs are just around the corner. They're going to be here sooner than you know it. It's funny that you mentioned best in the ECHL because one of the best players in the league this month has no doubt been Brandon Hawkins. We talked about him last week, 16 points in 9 games throughout the month of January. Still a handful of games to go here in the month, and he has definitely put himself in consideration for the player of the month.
No question about it, Dorian. He's riding a 4-game goal-scoring streak. He's got 5 goals in that span. Remember, earlier this month, he had a 5-assist game in a game that was played in Fort Wayne. And we talked about him last week, and it's kind of fun to watch the development of a guy that ends up missing 2 months, basically, at the start of the year. After you get into training camp, you're ready to go, boom, all of a sudden you get that injury, a wrist injury, and now you're out for 2 months. And now you got to amp it back up, and it takes a while to get back into that flow. And, it's kind of been interesting, at least over the last week to 2 weeks here. The line that's kind of filtered together here is Brandon Schultz, who had hardly played all year, went 10 games without even picking up a point, didn't even pick up his first pro point until a couple weeks ago. And now he's on a line with TJ Hensick and Brandon Hawkins. And every time they're on the ice, they're creating something. Brandon Schultz had a great goal yesterday on the breakaway on an excellent pass by TJ Hensick to set him up and showcasing his speed that has gone on that line. You got Brandon Hawkins firing more shots than you can count. anymore. He had 15 in the game last Saturday and 9 on Sunday. And that's kind of light for him, it feels like, anyway, with the way his shot total is going. So this is a line that, Dan Watson's kind of stumbled on here, and it's been working out pretty well for the Walleye.
You mentioned that the Walleye will face the Wheeling Nailers, the last team they lost to at home. We're going to have to wait till Saturday to see if that streak stays intact. But first, the Walleye will return to action on Friday when they hit the road to take on the Indy Fuel. Puck drop in that game is 7:15.